Hi everyone, and welcome to this video. Today I'm gonna demonstrate to you how you can install cPanel and WHM with Oracle Cloud free tier. So to start with, if you haven't yet signed up, need to sign up here for free. And you have to select your wherever you may be, let's say United Kingdom, and then your name, your email. I am human. Please click each image, both both and verify email. So let's check our email here. Click on the link and select your password. Company name is optional. Username. And for here, guys, I would recommend you to use US or whatever from US, so that you can have you are able to use the almost all of the free tier services. High demand, so continue. After filling up the address information, you will then be redirected to add your payment credentials. Your payment method, which you will be providing your credit card or debit card information, and then make sure to have at least $1 to $2. Depending on your currency, just convert it into $1 to $2, and so that Oracle can confirm or activate your account, and then they will then send you an email to confirm it. And once done, you will be redirected to the dashboard where we can start launching your instance and install cPanel. So I'll just stop here and then see you in the dashboard.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so Once you're in your dashboard, once you've logged in, you will be redirected here or here. I believe it's here. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in Singapore home region. That's the reason why I want you to, if you can, choose the United States, any of the regions from the United States, because most of the most of the space for the free tier accounts, I'm not really sure how it works, but most of them within the other regions are out of capacity. I believe in the United States there are more space than the other third world countries. So what I'm gonna do is to just use the trial credits, which is we have actually, if you're signed up with a free tier account, you have $400 to spend within 30 days. So let's get started. So to launch an instance, actually an instance is something like a cloud instance, your web hosting, or a VPS. So to do that, go to compute and then instance. Then in case I have a running instance here, but I will show you later on. I will still demonstrate to you how you can create this one. But in case you're in the instances section here, and then you can see here you can see an empty space here. Just go to the compartment here and then select your username. Okay, select your username, and then you should be able to see this button here to create instance. So once you've click on that, name your instance with the name of your host name. Okay, so if you have watched my previous domain how to buy a domain name, if you can remember, I have bought this domain here. So whatever domain that you have bought from that tutorial, just add this one here, cloud, or whatever you want to name your host as your host name. Okay, you can also use panel, because this host name, the host name will be the domain or the subdomain of our web panel, which we will be installing cPanel. So, but for me, I'll just use cloud. And then make sure to select your host name, and just keep this as is for now, and then select CentOS 7 here, and once done, if you are in a different home region, maybe you're in the United States or other country, try to use Ampere and then select here. And once you get and once selected, for me, I cannot actually select this. I'm not sure if it's because of the region or just that I am using CentOS, but if you can, just try it though. You can select up to 4 CPU and then 24 gig of RAM. So just try that, or else we will be using instead the same as me, the free trial credit, or else if you are using Oracle Cloud for your projects, then just use AMD instead for CentOS. So select this one and then use for try to use this 64, or if you are not able to launch or to create, because if it's out of capacity, then just lower down the specs. Not the cores, not the CPU, but the memory only. Okay, maybe 24, 64, or 20, or lower down until you don't see any warnings here. Okay, and also I just want to point out, if you have created an instance and then you have terminated it earlier, once it is showing in your instances, like here, even if it's already terminated, I believe Oracle Cloud will still limit you to create another one until it's already deleted here, or if until it's not showing here, even if it's terminated. So just keep that in mind. You have to wait until it's not showing here, even if it's terminated, and then that's when you can create another instance, unless it's out of capacity. So back to our configuration. So we have 4-core CPU and then 64 gig. You can also try to higher this to make it higher if you can. The specs, you can make this higher, and make sure not so high that they will show a warning here that your service is limited. The reason why it will not let you create the instance. So just make sure that there's no warning here, and then just create. Okay, once you have created, you will then be redirected here. If it's created a few seconds ago, the color will be something like an orange, which means it's still pending. It's still in the progress of launching. So just wait until it turns green, the color here. And also, if the buttons here are already active, that you can edit, just like me. So as you can see here, I only have 4 because in my home region, or I'm not sure, maybe because I'm only using a free trial, I can only launch up to this specs. But let's try if we can still higher this up. You can try to make this higher. Oops, save changes. Want to reboot? Okay, let's try to reboot. Following service limits were exceeded. Standard 3-core add requested service limits cease from the service limits page in the console. So as you can see, I cannot upgrade it, but let's try. Let's probably try 6. Just keep it 6 to 4. Yes! So it's stopping. I believe it's rebooting. So this is what I'm saying earlier. It will show this color right here if it's still in progress of launching. It's stopping, but I believe it is under reboot, and currently we have 4 CPU, and once it launches again, it should show 6 core already. Let's just wait a little more time. Now it's starting back, and if you check on here, earlier it is 4, now it's 6, and we will try again now it's running again, so we can again upgrade this one.
A few moments later.
So guys, I have added the RAM, and which is up to 96, and with 6 CPU cores, now we are ready to launch our web hosting control panel with cPanel. So but before that, we need to first extend our storage, which is, I believe we have in the boot volume, you can see here it's 200 gigabytes. So just take note of that, because in Oracle the standard boot volume, or I'm not really sure, the storage is only up to 46 or something like that size or space, and if we use more than that, we need to extend through SSH. We need to extend it, and I will show you how to do that with my note that I've just learned just recently when I used Oracle Cloud. So let's get started. First, we need an SSH client. So what I want to use is Bitvise. So you can use anything like Booty or Mobile X whatsoever. I use Bitvise, so if you want to follow through in this tutorial, use Bitvise. So download this one, and then just hit on download, and click on it again. So once this is downloaded, just save and open. Right click, administrator, and then since I already have my Bitvise installed in my computer, just follow follow through the installation process. It should be self-explanatory. Just hit next, 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 and then install it in your system. And once ready, you can then search for SSH here Bitvise. So once you're with your when you first open it, it will show something like this. So the next thing you want to do is to go back here. First we need to import our key, the one that we have downloaded earlier. Remember, the one that you have saved from Oracle when we launched the instance. So click on the client key manager and then just select this one here, import, and then go to where you have saved your key earlier. Mine, I've just select all files here and then click on this Oracle key here, the private key, and it should be it. Then just add comment here so that you know that this is Oracle. So import. Once imported, we can now close it, and then let's go back to it later. Let's go here to our instance and then make sure it's running. So copy the public IP address, add it in the host name, and then once done, the username is OPC, and then initial method is public key, and then just use auto, and also the port I forgot. So once that's done, let's copy our host name or the name of our instance and then save as profile. Let's save this one so that we don't forget. So once you have saved as, it should show this name here that you have copied here and then save profile. So the purpose of this is so that we can just log in anytime we want. So just log in and then just accept and save. So we should be now ready to log in, and so that's how you can log in via SSH with Bitvise. Before we can extend the storage, or to extend the partition or partition the storage of our cloud server, let's first log out again. I just demonstrated you how you can log in with Bitvise, but I forget we need to set up a dedicated IP for our instance. So to do that, let's go to let's select our instance first. We need to come here. Let's go back, select here, and then scroll down, attach VNICS, and then select your host name, scroll down again, and then from the resources, IPv4 addresses. And once this is done, ephemeral. This IP means, I believe, dynamic IP. So we need a dedicated IP, which means a permanent IP for our instance. So to do that, we will need to release the current ephemeral public IP here. So let's release that. No public IP. Okay. Update. So we now have nothing here. So let's edit again to select a reserved public IP, which is same as dedicated IP, I believe, or a shared permanent IP. So now select existing if you already have an existing reserved IP, if you already have created one, but if not yet, then just select this one, create new reserved IP, and then add the name of your instance. And you can also use any name, but I'll just use it so that it is organized. So now select, just keep it as is, as it's optional here, update. So now our new IP will be this one. So we will need to replace this one here and then save. I forget to set up first the reserve IP before we log in. So now we should be able to still log in, as you can see here. So let's log out first. And what else do we need? Okay, so the next thing is that we need to contact support. We need to contact support to update our RDNS. RDNS is important in regards to email, to emailing from our server. So if you're not familiar with that, just follow through, because it's important to have this set up for your server. Okay, so this is please set up RDNS for my existing instance. So just use this, just follow this format that I'm showing you. Copy the name of your go to your instances and then copy the name here. Sorry. Copy the name of the reserve IP, I believe. So also the reserved IP. Copy the name of the instance and then the reserve IP here, and go to instances. We can also, instead of the name of the instance, the OCID, Oracle, I believe. I'm not really sure though. Just copy this one because they need this. So OCID, okay. So just follow this format here. Please set up RDNS for my instance. RDNS to be updated with the name of our instance and instance name, reserve IP. Okay, please set up existing. Okay, so that should be it, and just leave this as is. And we will be creating 2 support tickets. We will be asking as well, just in case they would allow us to enable our port 25. Just follow through. If you're not familiar with this, just follow through, okay? Because these are important. Please open 25 port for my existing instance. Port 25. So that the purpose of this is to use sending email from our server. Port 25 from existing instance. Same thing earlier. Let's use the same information. Let's just copy from the recent ticket. Let's just copy this one here. This. Okay. So that's it. Create. So they will just email later. Then let's proceed to our next task, which is let me get a notepad here. So number 1, we have launched. Let me check here. So first, number 1, register for Oracle free tier. Number 2, launch instance and upgrade. Number 3, set up reserved IP. We are done with that. And then requested from support to open port 25 and RDNS update. Okay. Number 5, SSH login to our server or instance. So all of these are done. Done. So the next step will be to extend storage or partition. Our partition our storage from our server. So let's go to our Bitvise SSH client. Let's log in here and open terminal. So here, so when you open your terminal, let me exit on this here first. So first we need to sudo login as root. So now, as you can see, we have logged in earlier with our key, with their CentOS username, which is OPC, and now we have logged in via root with this command here. Don't worry, guys. I will gather these commands in the blog. Just click on the link in the description for more information. So the next one, let's set up host name, which is the name of our instance. So that is cloud.malwix.xyz. If you check on that one, so now it's cloud here. So to update it, let's exit. Let's go back to we have exited to go back to the user, and then let's log in again with sudo. So as you can see, now we are using our host name. So let's hit on clear to clear the interface. So as you can see, next we need to reset our password, as set our root password. This is the command for that. Passwd, then just type in your password, whatever you want, enter, and then retype it again. Make sure it's the same and you have noted it. Tokens updated. Okay, so if it's successfully changed, it should show this one. And then, by the way, guys, if you want to copy paste with Bitvise SSH client, it will automatically copy when you highlight any text here. As you can see here, selected, it shows you have successfully copied this one. And if you want to paste, you just right click and it should show this one here, as you can see, and Control C to go back to interrupt whatever you are writing. So the next, let's clear it again, and then let's start. What else do we need to set up? Again, let's now start extending our partition. So first, let's go to parted. Let's run the command parted, and then here using this one, let's go back, Control C. To exit from parted, just click Q and then enter. So let's go back here. We need to first check our disk so that we can have a reference and update it later on. So first we need to run the command ls block, I believe lsblk. So as you can see here, SDA, our storage, the total size is 200 gig, but if you check on here, we only have the SD1. These are partitions. Okay, so this is our whole disk, and then these are the partitions, I believe. I'm not that familiar with Linux because I'm using Windows, but based on what I've studied on the web, so these are the partitions. So it's using 512 MB in SD1, and then 8 gig in SD2, and then SDA3 is 38 gig. So where are the other space? Because it's saying here the total disk is 200 gig. So let's check where is that free disk. To do so, let's check if it is used. So let's H, no, D. So this is here is the size available. Guys, okay, so let's just show this as a reference for later. Okay, so let's check the free space by running parted. So P and then free. This means parted. I believe it's a utility which is already installed in Linux on Oracle. And then when you run parted, I have run again print, which is P. Print or P is the same, and then space free to check the free space of the storage. But I'm not sure, there's an error here, so let's just select fix, then paste fix, and then again fix, and then just hit on it, and then it should show what do we need to, what is the purpose of our running those commands earlier. So as you can see, we have found here the free space, which is the 165 gig. So The problem is it's not partitioned, so we need to combine it in this storage, in this partition, the SDA, as you can see here. Here we want to in the home directory, we want to combine it here, and then install here cPanel, okay, or whatever system we want to install, we will install here. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's quit the parted utility and then clear, so that we can have a clean slate here. But if you scroll up, you can still see what we have done earlier. So clear command is just to wipe out the previous commands, but it should be just here. Okay, so next, let's go ahead and partition the disk. First, we need to delete it. fdisk dev sda, oops, sorry, fdisk dev sda. So here is the command I've run. It's for partitioning, I believe, or deleting whatsoever. So changes will remain in the memory only until you decide to write them. Be careful before using the write command. Okay, so it's saying that in the fdisk utility, you can manage here the deleting of the deleting of partition, or partitions of your storage. It's just something like if you go here in Windows, it's the local C and the local D, or whatever partition it may be. So it is saying that we have, if it's just the same as Windows, if you're familiar with it. So never mind. So let's just follow through what I do here. So just hit D to delete the SDA3 partition, because we will combine it with the free space. So delete, and then just use 3. We will select 3 as we have checked earlier. It's in the parted utility, it's number 3, right? So, or else this one, so it's SDA3, so number 3. And if it's different from your end, make sure to select the one that is the mount point is slash and nothing, only slash, okay, which is the home of the home directory of your server. So, and then select that one and check on what is the number of the SDA, and from there you can select that one. And partition 3 is deleted, so it's now deleted. The next one is we need to create a new partition, and again let's select 3 and then just enter, and then enter again to select default. So created partition 3. Now it should already been combined with the free space to to check on it, just let's run print or p. So as you can see here, if you can remember earlier, the SDA3 is only 38.1 gig. Now it is already combined with the 165 gig, which is the free space earlier. And as you can see here, there's no free space anymore. Yeah, but oh no, my mistake. We have checked earlier with parted utility, and we are using fthis, but we will also check later on once this is done here. Once we're done here, so as you can see, it's already combined. 1, 2, 3. The third disk is already 191, which is what we want. And then if you remember earlier, when we enter the fthis command, it says changes will remain in memory only until you decide to write them. Be careful before using the write command. So it's saying that the ones that we have run, the deleting of the partition, the combining of the free space, and the SDA3 partition, which became 191.5 gig, it's only temporary. It's just showing you that this is what will happen if we write it, if we finalize it. So since this is what we want, then to finalize it, run the write command, which is W. So just type W and then select enter key. So now the partition table has been altered. So now it's been written, or it's been finalized. Reread partition table, warning rereading. Okay, so now the system or the server, the computer server, needs to be rebooted. But it is saying that you can just run this one, part probe, if you don't want to reboot, so that the changes can reflect to the system. So let's see if it really did reflect. Let's go back to the history. So the history SDA3 is 38. So now if we check back, run the command. So as you can see, it's already updated. And let's also run the same for the other metrics here. So check on here, available. Is it the same? For here, 36. So here. So as you can see, it's not for the df command, it's not updated. So what we want to do here is to it's either we reboot the system or else run this command grow fs. So make sure to use the type here and then grow fs and dev, this one I believe. Run it. To resize the or update it. So let's run again this one. So as you can see, it's already updated versus earlier. So check this out here in the dash home mount. So as you can see, this is the slash home. So it's already updated. So now we are ready to ready for the next task. So let's clear it out, and maybe we can also reboot to make sure that all the system has been updated. But never mind rebooting. First we need to wait. Let's probably update first, or maybe just reboot and we will update later. Reboot. So just wait for it to be reconnected. Exit that one.
A few moments later.
So now we're back. It's already reconnected. So let's go back to the terminal. Let's see here. Next thing we want to do is to install cPanel. Let's check on our copy of the note. So now we have partition done. Next, install cPanel. So to do that, let's go to cPanel install trial. So just go here. This, and you will be redirected to this page. Hit on your select add your name to get access to a new trial license. Submit. So it should show here, and then just wait for about maybe 1 minute to 5 minutes. And you will be receiving an email from cPanel with instructions on how to install your free license. Alright, let's go to our here. So here is the installation guide. And Let's clear, and let's run this command, or maybe let's not run that at all first. So before we run that installation command, first let's update our system, CentOS. So we need to root permission. Oh, sorry, we have to run the sudo su space dash to login as root, and once you are logged as root, let's run the OS update or the CentOS update. It will take time. I'll just post the video.
A few moments later.
Now we're back. The update is done. So the next thing we want to do is to clear, and let me see. Let's install sorry. Let's install screen. Yes, let's install screen. And what else? Perl. Let me check on the requirements, by the way. If your system uses RAM, run screen. By the way, guys, earlier we have updated the OS. I forget to install the screen to use it for the update, because if this is a good practice when you use SSH, because when using screen, it will not interrupt your installation or whatever session you are doing when you're installing or updating something. In case you get disconnected to your internet, you will not get the session will not get interrupted if you are using screen. So this is how you can install it, which we will do later on. But first we need to check the requirements, because I have let me check here. Because there's a few issue earlier about recently about installing Perl. So, never mind, let's go back here, because they will show an instruction anyway. So let's go ahead and just install. I am using this if you noticed here, cPanel is recommending to use this command. So but I have added this one so that when it asks for this, as you can see, I believe it will ask if it will ask a question, then we can just it will just automatically say, it means that we are just saying yes, so that it is it will be an unattended installation. So the screen is ready, as you can see here. So we are in the screen session. So let's log out from the screen, Control D. So if you want to use screen, just just run screen, and then screen. This is a screen session, so you can run whatever session you want to, whatever process you want to run here. And this is safe. If you get disconnected to the internet, it will still continue to run within the server. So when you're inside the screen, just control AD to detach from it, so it can run even if you will exit your SSH client here, or you get disconnected from the internet. And if you want to go back to that screen session, just run this command, so you are here back to the screen. So we will use this screen to install cPanel. So let's go and copy the code, installation guide code, and then just let's first clear and then paste the command and then hit enter. So while it's in progress, we can detach from it by pressing in your keyboard Control AD. So it's already detached. Okay, and to go back is to use this command here. So it's still in progress, so we can hit CTRL again, AD to detach, and then we can grab some coffee and let's go back later in a few minutes, maybe 1 or 5. I'll go. Let's check again the session in the screen once we get back.
A few moments later.
So now we are back. So let's go back and check. So here, oops, thank you for installing. So I believe it's already done. Here, as you can see, congratulations, installation of next step is to configure your server. So you can go ahead and read all of this. So after ensuring that your firewall allows access to port 2087, so for this, it's just saying that we have to open our firewall so that we can access this port from the login to our server. And also open your preferred web browser, navigate to this link here is a link to log into cPanel WHM. It will automatically log you in if you use this link, but it might have already expired for a few minutes. So to generate a new one, we can use this we can run this command here to generate a new link to auto login us. So this is the our this is the link we can go to log into our cPanel WHM login link. So this is our IP and the port. So we need to open this port first from our Oracle. So let's go back to our instance. Config instance. Click on your instance name and then scroll down. Here, if you can see this one, go NC and VCN, click on that and submit. And once again, click on this and just copy this this value here. To do that, I already set up mine. So for you, if this is empty, then just add English rules and then follow through here. This for the source, and then PC, and just add another one, same thing, PC, should be all good, and yes, and that's it. So I'll just delete this one because I've already done that for now. So now you can go back here and reboot. Let's reboot our server first to apply the changes. So and wait for it to get reconnected.
A few moments later.
Okay, so once we have reconnected, let's open again our terminal and then let's try to log into our cPanel WHM. Let's generate a new link to auto login. You must run this program as a root user. Oh, sorry, we need to run the sudo su space dash again to log in as root, and then let's generate a new link to auto login to our cPanel. Copy this link and then paste it in your browser, run it, and you will be redirected to the to this page. Just disregard this because we have not yet set up the SSL, and also we are connecting through our IP, so that's fine. We will be setting up our host name later on, but first just follow through it in regards to this setup. Login, and If you haven't yet created an account with cPanel.net, so this is the time you will have to create an account. So just click on the create an account, add your email address, and then just create an account. Select this one, create an account. But since for me I already have an account here, I already have an account with them, so I'll just log in with my existing account, and we should be able to be redirected to this page where they are activating our trial license. So now it's showing as activated, so we can now set up our server. So for the email address, add your email address, but for me I'll just add um, can add your personal address, but I highly recommend you to use a different host, meaning let's say just go to protonmail.com, use that one. This create an encrypted email here or sign up, then create this one. This is just like this is something like a Gmail or an Outlook email account. Create this one and then use that one for your notifications, so that in case your server has an issue, it will not um, send a lot of emails to your Gmail account or Outlook, which will then lead to spam abuse tagging for your server. So I would recommend you to use ProtonMail instead, or any other email free provider while you are still setting up your server. Okay, so here for the name servers, we will base it on our domain or host name. So since my host name is the format of my host name is this cloudmawix.xyz, and my name servers will be ns1, ns2, this, or you can also use this one. So just do that one here. Okay, so ns2. So we will still be setting this up later on once we are done installing. So just click next. So you will now be redirected to the dashboard, which is showing trial license. Don't worry about this. We will be upgrading to uh to an official licensor, or another to an upgraded license later on once we're done setting up our server configurations. And don't worry for the price. If you cannot afford the official cPanel license, we can use another provider that is cheaper, or or any other provider that are that is alternative to the official licensing, which is the shared license. So if you want to use cPanel, even if you cannot afford the official one, we can use an alternative um, licensing option if you want to, and we will discuss that in the next video. But for now, thank you for watching this video. This is how you can install cPanel with with Oracle.